Hi again, and welcome back. I suppose we'll call this number 10. I'm a small little bit more relaxed now. Just a couple of things I wanted to say about Finland and stuff, and where I was up north and on the west coast of Finland was things that, because I can relate to it here, like where we have the ferries running out to Cape Clear and stuff here from Skull and Baltimore and places like that. And we were dredging. We were a long way offshore. We were one of the furthest dredgers out, and what we were doing was they were digging outside and mostly kind of sand and silt and stuff, and they were bringing it in and they were dumping it ashore. So effectively they were deepening the harbour, and they weren't wasting anything. They were coming in and we were reclaiming land. And there was a great, my father used to always have a great saying, that God made the world, but the Dutch made Holland. And there's no doubt in the God's earthly world that they're an amazing people. I often thought to myself that Ireland, we're here, a little country. We have very little going for us. We have the sea, and we have tourism, and we have farming, obviously, and the fishing, of course. But we've America to the west of us, and we've Europe to the east of us, and we're centre stage. We should be controlling the 70% of the worldwide dredging and stuff. We should be centre stage for all that. But unfortunately, we never had the leaders or the people with vision to see it or to take it forward. But it was but in the summertime we'd be coming in and to the dump, we call it, and in the summertime, and the ferries would be heading out the same way. The ferries would be heading out here to Cape Clear and places like that, and Sherkin and stuff, to the islands. And in the winter time, the ice used to get so bad and so heavy, it used to freeze so hard over there. In the winter time, the same companies that had ferry boats in the summer would have mini buses, and they'd be driving on the ice out to the islands in the winter time. And that is so amazing. And I have a photograph. I can't find it now. I wish I had. I could show it to you. That Michael Stott took for me. He went back out to Finland in the winter after the big freeze, and he drove out. We used to be passing in these buoys and stuff. We'll say like the perch and stuff. These marker buoys. Christ, Mick went out and he took a car and he drove out and he parked right up next to it. To be like the perch here and now, or the Mila Buoy or something outside. And he parked up next to it, got out and got a photograph taken with his car next to the buoy. And we used to be watching that buoy coming in, keeping it on the port side to kind of, that was the channel coming in, But I thought that was absolutely, that was amazing. We left, and I had a wonderful time in Finland. Lovely with the hotel. We stayed in a beautiful hotel. We worked for a brilliant company. Like even everywhere, the dredger was like a floating hotel, really. There was a canteen. You wouldn't even call it a canteen. It was like a restaurant there. You wouldn't see it anywhere else. Fully qualified chefs and all the rest of it. The best of everything. But I left Finland on what happened was the big freeze was coming in. We went out for 6 weeks. We were asked to stay on. We stayed on, and we ended up getting about 10 weeks there. And they were trying to get as much of the work done as they could before they got us out of there. So big freeze came in, started coming. The ice started coming fairly heavy, and everywhere we were going, and there was these little icebreakers breaking the ice, let us out. We left Finland, I think it's around the 15th or 16th of December. That would have been in '96. And I remember there was some crew on board. We went on the Jupiter, and we were going in convoy with the Argus, and we were heading for Rostock in East Germany, and the Argus was heading for Cuxhaven. They had to go through the Kiel in Germany as well, but we went most of the way together, and then we split up, obviously, for they were heading through the Kiel Canal, but they were going on further than we were. But I remember that trip at sea, and oh God, I was always in my most comfortable when I was at sea, and there was and I want to mention these people now because they were so nice and so wonderful to work for, and so I just want to give them some kind of recognition that maybe in 50 years' time somebody will watch this back and they go, oh, that was my granddad, or that was whatever the case may be. There was Bobby O'Brien from Cove, an absolute gentleman. There was John Galler. He was from the Achill Islands. I'm almost certain they were kind of older people than me now. They were both skippers. Just beautiful, lovely people. There was Brian Fitz from Cove. There was myself. On the Argus, you had Vincent Stott and Michael Stott. There was, like I said, Mick O'Leary. So it was Mick was on the Argus as well. Yeah, Mick O'Leary. Vincent Geary, and I think of more of them now as I go along as well. But we got down, you see, and what happened was they were ordering stores, as you would before you sail, and God bless it, they put down a list of stores, and the things that happened, like, they put out something like, I don't know, they put out 12 Mars bars or something, I don't know what arrived in here, but do you know the box of Mars bars that you put into a shop? We got 12 of them, and we only wanted a few Mars bars for the trip, and they put out something like they put out 2 boxes of cornflakes or something, because there was one of the lads wanted cornflakes. You see, you could get what you wanted, and they put out 2 boxes of cornflakes, and one arrived, but the big boxes that you put into shops, there was about maybe 12 boxes of cornflakes inside in each box. And I remember when we got to, that was a lovely trip, and it was minus 15 degrees Celsius when we left Finland, and it was something like minus 4 degrees when we arrived in Rostock in East Germany. And of course the Berlin Wall was down at the time, and they were starting to pump a lot of money into East Germany. They were starting to build up East Germany, like. And a pilot came out to bring us in to the harbour. Of course, that was a beautiful port as well, Rostock. They built kind of the cruise liners and stuff there. You should look it up sometime. Beautiful port. And we were telling the pilot, we were trying to give him the chocolate, and he was a lovely man, but he didn't want to take it at all. I was saying to him, it's only going to end up being dumped. And anyway, we tied up on the quay wall, and taxis came down and took us up to the hotel. But the story is, you see, this was about maybe we arrived on the 21st of December, and there were, we got the finest hotel you ever see. The hotel was brand new, and there was Christmas parties going on inside in the hotel, non-stop Christmas parties. It was right lead up to Christmas, and we had our own rooms and mini bars, right? And anytime I suppose I was never in a hotel with mini bar. Sure, I wasn't. Where would I be before? But as fast as they could fill the mini bar, we'd empty it because sure, we weren't paying for it at all. But and I know that's probably not a bad way to look. That's a good way to look at it. But you know what? I was 26 in that time, and it was Christmas, and last year I'd worked hard for it. But just different things. A few things I remember about Rostock. First of all, they came and they said they were in an awful panic. They said they couldn't get no flights for a few days, and they were all apologising over at the company to get us back to Ireland. But sure, we didn't care. God bless us, we were young. The older lads wanted to get home, but the young fellas, we just stayed there. We just stayed there till the New Year. We had no notion of going home. And the crack was mighty there. And we ended up giving 3 nights there, and then they gave us we got a flight out of obviously Berlin. We had to go to Berlin, and we flew home. It was Berlin to Dublin, and Dublin down to Cork. But I remember we were inside in the bar one evening, and there was a bottle of Tullamore Dew behind the counter, and we laid into the Tullamore Dew anyway. And the next thing, the gal, lovely man, lovely quiet man, God save us, and the place was packed. Like I said, there was no Christmas party going on. The gal stood out in the middle of the floor, and he sung Carrigfergus. Well, I tell you something, you could hear a pin drop. Absolutely, the Germans loved it, and we did too. You could hear a pin drop. We gave her a few days in Rostock, and like I say, I really and truly enjoyed it. That's one city I'd love to go back to. And Rostocker beer, you know, God save us, there's no one will come near the Germans for making beer. I don't care who you are or what you are, you won't come near the Germans for making beer. One of the finest beers I ever drank was Rostocker beer. God almighty, it was like mother's milk. But I remember we came home, you know, and the parting was, we were all the way to the airport. We were in Berlin. We nearly missed the flight in Berlin. Jeez, they were calling the flight, and we never heard it. And I say we nearly got marched on there by the flight. By good point, they nearly deported us out of Berlin. We were above inside in the bar, and the crack was mighty. And the next thing, and if you went to Dublin, and there was a couple hours delay in Dublin, and we were having the crack, and you know, something that I'm not really proud of now, but I just got to say it because it warrants telling. We arrived at Cork Airport anyway. So we were siggy, we were blind. So the next thing, my poor mother and father were there, and of course my mother was all worried about me, and I, sure, of course she was, and I couldn't see that, and I came off the plane. I was blind drunk, and I remember me uncle. I just remember this going down the road in the car. He says, "My father was a white fair contact was bad when he wanted to be," and the old fellow was inside the front of the car, and he says to the mother, and I inside in the back, you know, and I stuttering and just slurring my words, and the father says to the mother, "Jesus Christ, Mary," he said, "I sent that fellow to Finland to try to straighten him out, and he's after coming back worse." And it was funny at the time, and just funny, you know. for years my father couldn't see the funny side of it, but you know, a couple of years before he died, and we used to be up and down the road to the hospital and everything, and you know, we became very good friends, and then he became my best friend before he died, and well, I'm thankful for that time as well. But in the end, we used to laugh mad at. He used to always bring it up, you know, about the time I came back from Finland, and you know, in fairness, he kind of said to me, you know, that in the end I did turn out all right. So for that, I was, you know, that was nice to hear as well. But that was it. We were in Rostock. We came home that Christmas, and I wasn't home very long, you know, when I was away again. And I'll tell you about that now next week. I'm going to do a couple of days and we'll get through the dredging, because, you know, for the next couple of years that became my life, and I got to do a lot of loads of travelling, work with people that I would never work with, had an amazing life, and like, you know, things like all these airports that just a couple of weeks previous, you know, this fella, this young man that showed up with his black wedding or funeral shoes and his couple of t-shirts and his pair of jeans, and couldn't find his way around London Heathrow. All of a sudden, you know, I could have given tours in London Heathrow. I got to know it like the back of my hand. Copenhagen Airport, Helsinki, Berlin, London Heathrow, all these places became like almost like second homes to me, and you know, and opened my eyes in more ways that I could never ever have imagined to. And like I said, the world opened up in front of me, and my life opened up in front of me, and I have all these wonderful memories, for which I'm very, very, very grateful. That's kind of it, and thank you for coming back to me. That's number 10 now, isn't it? Yeah. I won't be the rest of the time now going up through the years. We'll fast track a lot of it. But I suppose I'm conscious of the fact that I want to join the dots, because it's been pointed out to me that it's more than making these videos for now. It's probably my only opportunity, really, to leave something behind that, you know, it's open the World Wide Web, and maybe in 50 years' time my grandkids or someone else's grandkids might look at it, and, you know, if I don't join the dots, they'll say, crikey, what did he do between now and then, and all the rest of it. And I'm just trying to leave something behind, and in the meantime, I thank everybody who's listening to me. And, you know, to be fair to them, as if I have much more to be doing at the moment. Even though I must go home, I've been trying to paint my deck at home, but it was raining today, so we'll tomorrow. Today is no day for painting. We'll have a look at that tomorrow. Thanks everybody, and come back to me next week, and we'll have another go at it. Talk soon.